This conference will now be recorded.
We want to just go directly to new and unfinished business.
I'll do roll call first.
Yeah, Megan, would you please do roll call for the County of Otsego IDA board meeting?
Jeff Joyner is absent. David Rowley.
Present.
Jeff Lord is absent. Craig Galvesman is absent. Tom Romeo.
Here.
Trisha Kennedy is absent. Cheryl Robinson. Here. Andrew Marietta.
Via Zoom. You're on mute.
Here, he's on mute.
Yeah, I'm on video, but technically absent.
And Josh Edmonds. Here.
Great. We're going to move directly to new and unfinished business. First item is approving the resolution for Centron Inc., DBA Advanced Biotech. Jody?
Yes, we held a public hearing on this on July 26th. No one actually showed up. We held it at the town clerk's office in Milford.
That's why I pulled it.
We held the public hearing on July 6th at the town of Milford. We also recorded that meeting, although it was rather difficult. No, we had no attendance at the meeting. We did run a cost-benefit analysis using the program that we hired out with this firm from Rochester. It shows that it does give a 22-to-1 benefits. So we can proceed with this project. And we also ran an analysis of the benefits on the sales tax as well as the real property taxes that we can give up, and that's included in the resolution.
Could you just quickly summarize what that is?
Okay,
Just for the record.
Advanced Biotech is a company out of New Jersey that does fragrance extractions for various types of foods and perfumes. They apparently are well known in the field of international sales. They're primarily looking right now for a warehouse and distribution space. They currently don't have enough space in New Jersey. Eventually, they want to start manufacturing as well up here. They'll be starting with probably 6 jobs, and eventually, in the next 2 years, going to 12 jobs. Ultimately, they would like to go to 20 to 30 at that facility. They are closing on the facility tomorrow.
You, for the record, mentioned so.
Oh, that is the former medical coaching facility in the town of Milford. It's about an 80,000 square foot manufacturing facility, so it's quite a large facility. And it's overall about a $5 million project. Basically, some outside work, landscaping, and repaving parking areas, most of it's fire suppression and forklifts, equipment purchases, and the big item.
Anyone have any questions? I know it's 66 plus acres.
Yes,
Really significant.
it's huge. I know a number of people looked at it for a variety of uses, including recreational uses, soccer field, indoor soccer. It's just that the purchase price was so high that I don't think anybody took it very seriously. This group actually is paying cash for the bill, so they're quite well in that sense. And originally we expedited this because of the reporting tax. Reason I moved ahead with it. Vote for that a couple weeks ago. When we found out that paying cash, we said, it's so that much waste.
Yeah, so can you just summarize too what we're actually resolving here with this, like what our role here is going to be in terms of releasing these back transactions?
Yes, we're expecting that the assessment could potentially double because usually the assessor is looking at the purchase price right now is pilot payment taxes for any increased assessment associated with that.
Well,
And the 1.5. Right.
Right.
It'd be a 25, 15-year agreement. First 5 years at 25% increased assessment, next 5 years 50%, following 5 years 75% going forward out of year 16. That's our standard. Yep. Not deviating. In addition to that, we're authorizing sales tax deductions. That probably will save them
Mostly on
purpose. Yes.
Any other questions? Andrew, any questions?
No, I think just going back to the mic piece of it, if the sound is definitely better than last meeting, but Jody still, it's kind of hit and miss picking up Jody. So
Maybe we need to do something different, speak with microphones.
We really had a discussion with that on check.
Great. Next item of new and unfinished business, resolution adopting policy on pilot deviations. Jody?
It's the same one that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, except for these minor changes. Cheryl made some good points last time on how that the weighted system. So we cut this down by like half a point, into a point and a half. So even if you were at the maximum at job finish and job creation, you only score 5, 6, 5. Otherwise, the target is managed. Yeah. And we reviewed the case of deviation.
Questions? Jeff Lord, any questions? He's not gonna, he's not allowed to have questions. I can't say that. Moving on, approving a resolution for Springbrook.
Okay, Springbrook is looking at acquiring the block across the street. Estimated cost of $6 million. Thank you. The estimated cost is a little over $6 million for the acquisition and renovations. They've come before us looking for a pilot sales tax and mortgage reporting tax exemptions on this property. They provided us with an analysis of why they believe they need this. Let's start with the pilot payments because they're asking for a major deviation from our normal pilot payments. The first time they presented it to us, they presented us with a copy of a spreadsheet that showed the numbers. Basically, what they have to look at is a debt coverage ratio of 1.15 and the second debt coverage ratio of about 1.5 with the two different banks or two different entities that are providing financing. I believe it's the Community Development Office is providing one type of loan assistance, and the other is the Community Preservation Corporation. That's actually it's very difficult usually to get the community preservation involved in projects on the rest of it. However, we requested and we were provided a copy with the actual Excel spreadsheet on this because anybody can put numbers in amounts they see. So we ran the analysis on the Excel spreadsheets with our standard policy, which we would consider like a retail. And clearly, when you put those numbers in on a 10-year basis, they clearly don't meet the debt coverage ratio. So then we said, you really need a 25-year time. So we looked at taking the last 5 years and taking that out as full payments and going to a 20 year. Again, technically, years 21, 22, 23, 24 did not qualify. Below the debt coverage ratio. Actually, in year 25, it just made it. So you can actually give them a 24-year payment as opposed to 25. The request is 25, and I guess they're concerned about are they going to make those numbers. So from that aspect, it does make sense to consider 25 years. We could not run our normal cost benefit analysis on this because the program doesn't account for health. Basically, what people in Rochester told me talking about modifying the program is you can't guarantee those people that are renting those apartments didn't move across the street. And so you can't count them as increased expenditures or sales tax. So the MRB group provided a cost benefit analysis based on similar organizations that we gave a couple of examples of other groups that have done housing. The National Development Corporation, for example, gave us 5 or 6 examples of how they analyze housing. The cost benefit analysis they came back with a similar proposal.
So the good news is we have a project that's requiring us to look at this.
Yeah.
As opposed to not having a project. But I would just want to note that we're talking about a pilot that is not focused on the original tax value of the project. That's going to continue as is, right?
That becomes another point. While we held a public hearing on this, no one from the public other than representatives showed up. And that was good. Nice people showed up. However, 2 days before and the day after, 2 days before, I had a meeting with the, and Joe was part of that conversation with the mayor and the mayor's attorney and the city attorney. Yeah. And they were not objecting to the project, they were objecting to taking the property off. And it really had to do with
Taking the improvement.
No, because the way the initial project deviation letter out, they misread it.
I was gonna say, okay.
Basically, it said that it was getting a 25-year pilot. Taking the entire property. They just didn't read it clearly. That was the day after the public hearing, 3 representatives of the city school district and we explained that they really didn't want property off. That's what that's the state aid. They weren't concerned with formula for the case of Parkwood. They weren't concerned about the cap limit. They were concerned that they were going to send some information on that more property that on the profit that taken off the tax bills, the less actual state aid. So 2 days later, or a day after that, I met the city assessor. I'm sorry, I should speak at this. I met with the city assessor and the mayor. And the city assessor agreed that what he would do was he would talk to Hank at the county real property tax office and put a sub number onto the upper 2 floors for the tax map. And they would be assessed separately than the main building. And thereby, we could keep the main building on the tax rolls and just have the pilot on the upper 2 floors.
That was my understanding of that.
Just the way we'll set up that data. That we will lease the top floors, not lease the first floor retail. So under the real property tax law, the first floor should not go on. did. And we had a very good conversation. There was backing over the fact that they had misunderstood the letter. And then we did something else.
Okay, so we're set.
Yeah.
That answer.
The big question came up with the city assessor sub parcel off that. So that's why we.
Any other questions? Yeah. Purchase. Renovation. Why a normal pilot program like they're purchasing a building that's been assessed. A pilot essentially deals with $1.5 million new assessed value or prorates that back out. Is something different about the Springbrook building? I know that we're looking at instead of 10 years, looking at 25 years.
What's different about it is that from there, because he publicly said it was not coming off the tax rolls, as well as the school district where it affects their state aid. Normally, when we do a pilot, we take the property off the tax rolls. We set up a pilot that you have to pay 100% of the previous assessments, and then the gradual increases for that. So we actually take the entire pilot. In this case, the deal is being struck to keep the property on the tax rolls, but only to do the pilot. That's
Got it. So they come off the tax rolls until they reach full assessment. And this one being left on the original now.
We wanted to first floor. From the start, we wanted to make sure everybody understood that we were keeping whole the amount of tax revenue that was coming in. Yep, and then phasing in as the pro forma will allow, as the property, the project right sizes with debt over the 25 years, which it does. So, you know, I think this way it satisfies the school district and the city.
It feels like a win all the way along.
Yeah.
It was a process.
And we do it.
Yeah.
We know not to do it. Let's do it. We could have taken the building, provided for normal tax. But for local reasons,
Correct. Any other questions? Commercial retail findings resolution for Springbrook.
In order to lean forward. Oh, in order to justify our ability to do this, we have to satisfy several provisions of the state law, because it's really a retail project the way it's defined. And we looked at a whole host of different. There's actually 3 different ways of doing it. One is to have it in a distress census tract. According to data that we received from one of Joe's interns who contacted Empire State Development, none of the census tracts in Otsego County are considered distressed. So I went back and argued. I went back and had discussions with Joe. Well, it's in an opportunity zone. It's also in a federal new market tax credit eligible census tract. The federal government considers those very distressed census tracts. Joe came back and says, yeah, but the state statute says it has to be defined as a distressed census tract by the state, not by the federal government. So we then looked at the opportunity zones. The Empire zones, because that's a special provision. 15 years ago, if you had an Empire zone, its property was in it, it would qualify as an IDA. nobody has a real good record of what the Empire Zone was 15 years ago. I contacted the county planning department, I contacted the county clerk for their record. Nobody has a copy of the original application. They have bits and pieces and amendments that were done, but nobody has a full application. Now, the problem with the city, the county of Otsego, is that apparently when they did their Empire Zone, they carved out individual pieces all throughout the county. And 10 years ago, when the final Empire Zones were awarded, we had to have contiguous areas. So I had assumed that this was the property next door on the side was in the Empire Zone. This property was. We can't verify. So that came off the table. So then,
Where are we? Jeff's gonna be here.
Yeah.
oh, okay. So really quickly, what we looked at that the MRB group did in their analysis why this project is important to the community, both as far as lack of housing, downtown revitalization. There is a special provision in the tax law that allows for the IDA to make a determination that in fact it does meet that criteria.
And that's what this was.
And that's what it's.
There's 4 resolutions. Secret.
Yep.
Pilot deviation. Commercial finance. That's what we said. The reason we have commercial finance is that you open up the IDA statute, but this is a project that we don't see housing. So what we suggest to our IDA clients is to do a commercial finance resolution, indicating that this housing project has commercial elements. That puts us in a commercial project.
The mic's not picking up any of this.
Sorry, and then the 4th resolution is the improving resolution, which is just like advanced biotech, which improves the straight documents. The reason you have 4 for the 4th building project is that with advanced biotech, we've already done the secret resolution previously. Right? You've got 2 nuances here. You've got commercial findings in the pilot deviation. So there's a total of 4 resolutions that you can consider as part of that project. We do it in that order: secret, pilot.
Okay, so we're gonna reverse the order in the agenda, basically. Any questions? Joe Andrew, did you hear Joe's explanation of all 4?
No, just the 4th.
So we're we have 4 resolutions regarding the Springbrook project. First one we would approve would be the seeker resolution. Second would be the pilot deviation. Third would be the commercial retail findings resolution. Did you hear the explanation of what that is? Jody?
Earlier with the city of Oneonta.
How we designated to get it, not to make it a legal project, despite the fact that IDAs don't normally do housing, but there's a commercial aspect to this. Joe can explain that if you need further explanation.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and then the last one would be the actually approving the resolution itself.
The project.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Last one is resolution authorizing submission of ARC grant application. We're almost with you. I have to tell you, you're faster than we are.
Okay, we submitted a pre-application to the Acceleration Center, and they recommended that we submit a full application. There's 14 applications. We're probably only going to approve 4 or 5 of them. So our chances of getting it are
1 in 3. That's pretty good.
that agrees. As
Positive follows equal.
what we're looking at doing is, and this wouldn't take effect until 2022. The application goes in right now because they won't make the awards until the end of this year, and then the federal government has to approve it. So that probably will be not until January. It's $150,000 grant, and it's got to be matched by $150,000. What we're proposing on doing is that we've been budgeting last year and this year $50,000 for marketing. So as part of the grant application in fiscal year 2022, we anticipate another $55,000 going into marketing. We're using that as part of our match because a lot of the stuff that the Innovation Center wants to do is do marketing to start up businesses. Custom Electronics and IOXIS are both putting up $62,500 as a match in kind technical assistance, their salaries and engineers and scientists working with these businesses. So that's providing the bulk of the match. One of the things we want to do is in 2022, and I know I've heard this from some of the board members, that we really need a market. So part of the $44,000 a year of the ARC fund will actually be hiring a center director to work here to work with these businesses to do market outreach for that in a nutshell is what the grant application is. The reason I'm bringing this to everybody's attention is that although Patricia isn't here, she says, I don't want to submit any grant applications unless I really know what's going on. That makes sense.
So should the odds favor us, when we get the greater discussion. Correct.
Right.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little hesitant with some of those numbers in terms of how and the process with it. I'm okay with applying for the grant. I don't know if this is under a deadline, if we can perhaps have further discussion. Just again, understanding the funds coming from us and understanding that we are going to be employing the director to me was kind of new when I read. So again, if this is the direction you feel is best, I'm comfortable with submitting the grant, but I do feel like further conversations probably need to take place to make sure we're putting our funds where we want it. We've talked about marketing director, we've also talked about property manager, we've also talked about project manager, just making sure our funds are going where we think is going to have a great impact. I think this is a great idea and a great project that could.
Well, the first year and a half, we're not paying for this. That would be paid for out.
Right.
It's really after the first year and a half, we want to modify the role. Right.
And just for me also, it's just understanding contingency, right? So once we are taking on certain roles and responsibilities for this, what happens if there's failure or it doesn't work or, those kind of things, to make sure that we just understand what our out is, what our offering is going to be.
We've cycled through this project 20 years ago, across the street, over the back, on the right part of it, when they had the innovation center here in town. So, and that's what Chris Piper created. The big he worked upstairs across the street as part of that. So we've done this and had a life cycle and kind of made it away, fit it more. No, I think the consensus is there's an opportunity to gain something with it. I don't think it's eternal. It's like everything else.
Right.
There's a cycle.
The application deadline,
There are so many deadlines on this grant.
okay, and I tried my question.
And I
gotta get things done.
I was assuming that it was August 30th. On Friday of last week, I got an email, all the applicants got an email saying, make sure you get your applications in by today. I called up and I said, well, forget it. I said, you can't get it. I thought the application, oh no, there's a deadline of last Friday. So I said, well, and they said, well, can you get it to us by Monday? We'll give you. I said, that's not fair. So then
So we're going to get it. We're going to be
so
able
now
to-
the deadline is today for us.
which is why we had.
Okay.
Which is why
we asked Jeff to
right.
drive it.
It's
So approval, approximately, approval, do we know?
Sure.
Approval,
Time
notification.
frame?
We'll probably know sometime in September.
Okay, great.
So
Any
I-
questions beyond what
We will
you're?
then have deeper questions.
Correct.
Deeper
And to
conversations.
be honest, it's not, we haven't been working with IOXIS and electronics yet really well enough to figure out.
Yeah, what's gonna, yeah.
So this is, even though what we put in there is.
Public field engineering.
Further details to be worked out.
The housing here.
I mean, the gentleman from Hartwick, Aaron, he just got back, he just contacted me today. He's been on Anna
Sorry to hear that. It's really hot and dry out there. So moving forward, can we note that we now have a forum with Jeff Lord, Megan? Okay. Look, shall we just proceed to approvals?
Yes.
Okay.
I apologize, but did you already cover the deviation discussion?
Yes. We can.
Can you give me the bullet points?
No.
Bullet points, Joey.
All
I
right.
don't know what time it is now, I'm gonna go watch.
Pilot deviation.
We received a copy of the Excel spreadsheet for the cash flow analysis. And in order to jump to the banks, actually, it's the community development office. All of the, reservation. That is providing the financing. In order for them to provide the financing, the principal financer wants a 5 cash flow debt coverage ratio and an overall debt coverage ratio of 3.544.
Which are the covenants that are being established? Okay, and so you're talking about a pro forma has to match that?
So we took their pro forma and we said, well, what if we plugged in instead of a here, we looked at it in our standard pilot. Plug that into your under. The numbers just drop really below. So I said, well, then let's look at what if we do a 20-year. And we said they go full taxation. When I ran those numbers, again, the debt coverage ratio dropped below. Now, one can assume, don't argue that well, all the assumptions. I didn't go into that much detail. But we did analyze it based on the debt coverage ratio.
You're giving, I don't want to get into this.
25 year.
You're giving 115 and a 135. What are they? Are they different tests?
The one is for the community preservation corporation.
Oh, so the two different funding requirements.
Second. So it's one is the other.
What's the maximum? No, it's the other. What's the minimum amount of years that will establish and achieve both?
24.
So we're rounding it up.
So 23.99. So 25. I got you.
So if you want to argue about the 1 year, that's to be honest, yeah, the cash flow does work.
So the deviation is from the normal policy to get to
Right, that's correct. Any other questions from anybody before we vote? So we're gonna,
Bottom up.
well, we're gonna do, let's
Approving
approve the
resolution
resolution for Centron.
Resolution.
Yep. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Carol, second. Josh? Discussion? All in favor?
You do
Roll
voting.
call.
Roll call? Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Jeff Joyner is absent. David Rowley,
Yes.
Jeff Lord,
yes.
Craig Ellison is absent. Tom Armayo,
Yes.
Josh Edmonds. Patricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta,
I don't think I can vote, right?
CFO, absent. Cheryl Rupp.
Yes.
Could indicate in minutes that you favor once.
But
Are
let's
you
do,
in favor, Andrew?
yes, he is.
Yes, I am in favor. Yes.
He said so, I heard him. So we're gonna note, Andrew, we're gonna note your vote, et cetera, every time, okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Second resolution adopting policy on pilot deviations. Motion?
Tom.
Second,
Carol.
discussion. Roll call, please.
That one we don't need.
We don't need a roll call? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Seek a resolution for Springbrook. Motion?
Tom.
Discussion. We need a roll call on this?
Yep.
Roll call vote, please. Megan?
Jeff Joyner is absent. David Rowley.
Yes.
Craig Geltzman is absent. Jeff Lord.
Yes.
Tom Armayo.
Yes.
Josh Edmonds.
Yes.
Patricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta.
Yes.
Full in favor. Cheryl Robinson. Yes.
Pilot deviation approval resolution for Springbrook. Do I have a motion? Second, please. Discussion. Roll call on this.
Jeff Joyner is absent. David Rowley.
Yes.
Craig Geltzman is absent. Jeff Lord. Tom Armayo.
Yes.
Josh Edmonds.
Yes.
Patricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta.
Yes.
Virtual in favor. Cheryl Robinson. Yes.
Motion passes. Commercial retail findings resolution for spring. Motion. Second, please. Discussion. Roll call again.
Jeff Joyner is absent. Dave Rowley.
Yes.
Craig Geltzman is absent. Jeff Lord. Tom Armayo.
Yes.
Josh Edmonds.
Yes.
Patricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta.
Yes.
Favor. Cheryl Robinson. Yes.
And the fourth and final resolution involving the Springbrook project, approving resolution for Springbrook. Motion.
John.
Second. Any discussion? Vote, please.
Jeff Joyner is absent. David Rowley.
Yes.
Craig Geltzman is absent. Jeff Lord.
Yes.
Tom Armayo.
Yes.
Josh Edmonds. Yes. Patricia Kennedy is absent. Andrew Marietta.
Yes.
Favor. Cheryl Robinson. Yes.
Okay, the final resolution under new and unfinished business is resolution authorizing submission of ARC grant application. Motion.
John.
And a second. Discussion. Vote, please. Just a straight vote. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Jeff. Sure. Just one quick comment, administrative. Greg is not here, he's the secretary. You don't have an assistant secretary. I think it would be helpful administratively, it would help Megan and I in terms of getting stuff signed, like you can get the resolution certified today, so you might want to consider nominating at this meeting to be the assistant secretary. We can have that person certified. That the resolution will be adopted. Administratively, the administrative task.
They don't have.
But you have to stay inside, I guess is right.
Yeah.
Like 20 different resolutions.
Right, but it's, yeah, but that's true. That's true. That's the duty.
I can do that.
Thank you.
You need to vote on.
Yeah, we should have,
I would not-
a voice vote.
We have a nomination for Cheryl Robinson, the assistant secretary. All in favor? Aye. Andrew, are you in favor?
Yes.
Thank you, sure.
So be it. You have time for 5 minutes to go down through really quickly, other items? Okay. We have minutes, we are not approving, correct?
Correct.
Just note that we have minutes from audit, finance, et cetera. Bills and communications. Yep, we will do that. Yeah. So let's we have a motion to approve COIDA board meeting minutes from June 24th, 2021.
Yes.
Josh? Josh made the motion to approve the minutes. Megan?
I got it.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right.
Just-
Yeah. What did I sign up for?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Bills and communications. Any questions? Not much there.
I see paper kite had a major drawdown, significant, so we log in to get that information, see what's going on, or how we get reports to see. Or just a,
We actually
the
just,
pulse of what, yeah.
we just terminated that. That was.
That's fine.
already there. That was-
Do we have, so if we're closing out that contract, can we just get a final kind of report to Tom's point around effectiveness and what we saw?
Was that in the statement, were they going to join us in person and doing the presentation or, kind of the culmination of how the program worked? I thought that was part of it.
We can actually ask them to do a presentation.
I think that would be.
Maybe a
Yeah.
project. Makes sense.
The other side of that is it's an education that us need to understand a little bit more of what exactly we're doing, not only for that project, but for all change.
I was gonna say, it also might be good to just tell everyone like
Launch.
what the plan is for this
Right.
year.
And-
They've
and
done
why.
some of that, but I
So
think,
also
yeah.
the,
I agree.
how the digital social marketing works, and what they anticipate, so get it, or we have some idea. of what they're aiming at.
It was interesting. We had such more constant access to them. And their take is that instead of blanketly going on there and saying this is who we are, this is what we have, this is the type of manufacturing we have, that we should be targeting instead of open businesses,
I agree
targeting
100%.
investors.
The digital platform allows us to swipe, it's right on the crowd. It sounds simple, but it's not. Target market.
Especially if you're
So
going
general-
at a cluster or you're going at something specific.
Just in general, so we're here, find for results. You might find somebody. Once again, things are good, bad, kind of, like comparison compared to South Carolina. Business, Carolina, I don't know.
Well, you have access and custom boots on the ground, right? And listening to what their advice is. Good.
I think that once again, that presentation would help us all get on what we can.
I mean, they gave, I actually gave a list of different types of investors who have portfolios and small businesses that are looking to expand them. That's the type of people you want to be targeting.
We should have that discussion. You meant, you said target.
Right. I'm in the car because we don't worry about it. I want everybody to understand completely what I meant.
We need approval to pay the bills at this point.
So move.
Second. All in favor? Really not a significant report from the governance committee. We have minutes from the project committee, which we're not going to approve, correct?
Yeah, and I'll let the minutes stand.
Any questions about those minutes? We move into public comment period. We have one member of the public here. I don't know if we have any other public members on. Yeah, our ratings are low. Really low.
I'd just like to thank the board for your support of our requests. I know there are deviations and worked hard to substantiate those. And so I appreciate you following that through for us. And I will offer and continue to offer. And we'd love your input. We want to make sure everybody understands that we intend to make only as a whole with the taxes that are paid currently. Are phasing in taxes on the improvements over the 25 years. We just want to make sure everybody understands it because it is fairly complex for a person walking up and down Main Street to get all of this. We're trying to do our messaging. Well, we did the Main Street 2 weeks ago where it was closed. We got information tables out to make sure anybody that stopped by could sort of understand the project and that part of the project. We don't want people to think that we're trying to revenue from that volunteer. So if it comes up, I'm willing to go, talk to the Rotary or the school board, any groups that you think would help or that need to have any clarification. Do that. So I would let me know if that's needed. And certainly come back here anytime you want. Thank you, but I really appreciate your support.
Nice to have you yourself.
So, it's obvious to say, but a lot of the general public are pretty myopic. Taxes, that's what, but who else would make the investment that they're making try to divert money onto. So, you know, it's a blend of getting to understand the value add to the community. But we appreciate it very much. Thanks, Chuck.
I was jealous.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, the conversation over time, you and Patricia have been their frustration. Here, you know, about us cooperating, helping push. We know how to do nothing. With it on the line, we're doing that. So, you know, something is done. If you got to be super creative, you get about the down, and win. But some upgrade, you know, we need to be involved in any ways we can. Push that, because that's our housing.
It's a theory,
You know, it's interesting.
it's big to what you see in nice
see
new project.
investment,
It's just, it means something. It doesn't even matter what it is.
I know.
And I had to do a presentation for the IGA committee as well as the administration. And I went through what we were working on. And two of the board members at the administration committee were really pleased that we were working. Which is about time.
It's a huge crowd of citizens. Anybody.
Anybody who's doing that.
You're exactly correct. And we all talked about a pilot for individuals somehow figuring out how to get people in. I don't know what it is. It's expensive to build in New York State before lumber price. But also, saying, as you grow, you know, you still need to be talking about workforce development, more people to come to work. You know, extra employment, all other stuff. We don't have enough employable people within 30 miles, 40 miles. We don't have enough employable people to fill the jobs. We're looking from a commerce standpoint, income generation for support schools, YMCA, and everything else. Oh, we need population growth. We can't have a shrinking population suffer. Work under the delusion that big numbers got to go up first, more people available.
That is a problem.
Educational.
Everybody. Well, it's
exacerbated.
here's the thing.
Absolutely. You're absolutely
It's
correct.
entry level
Absolutely.
professional. It's everything. It's the whole
It
spectrum.
is. Yeah.
And, you know, Utica's got this immigrant innovation center. Somewhere we need, you know, the cost of doing business or the opportunities are good a bit by comparison compared to, you know, to South Carolina. Maybe this is awful, but compared to Albania, it's fucking wonderful. You know, I mean, this is what you're
It's
comparing.
real. It's
So,
real.
I'm sorry.
That
Did you
standard we just created.
understand completely what I meant?
I did.
That's our next comparison. Boston is project.
You know, the point is, we have things to offer. It's who you're comparing us to. And we've got to access some people. You know, they say that the vibrancy of New York City is eternal because they always have new agents coming, starting off here, working their way up. And they work their way up and the new ones come in. We don't have that. We don't have the workforce to start it. And entry level people are pretty expensive. I can tell you how much it costs to wash a car, but that's a small part of it. You know, and we need everything from entry level to fine.
You're saying you agree with the last 200 years.
Agree with it. I didn't
The
get that.
facts, the facts about.
Yeah. Both morning and
Immigrant groups coming in, pushing up.
That's how I got here.
both morning and access for the last one, there's times outside the building.
Everybody.
Everything. And Chad was telling me that they scheduled an interview, so they back also said, "Oh, really? It was 11."
Once again, those other issues are there. The conversion from an interview to an employable person are what it is. We need to increase the number of people we can access for the interview. Solve these problems not by getting perfect through here, increase the big numbers.
Fill the funnel, top of the funnel.
Absolutely.
I have one quick question. Did they cancel the interview with that individual?
No, they said we start at 8 o'clock. That's a little.
Well, exactly.
Okay, I know Jeff is on a timeline. We had actually intended to do an executive session. People want to
I have 2 Teams calls, but I didn't know how long this meeting would be, and I was giving myself a break, so I had to. Okay. And by the way, those are Lord and Lady gold milk caramels. So if you've never tried them, right, and for those who have the sugar problems. I was going to bring that up. You get first dibs because you're the assistant secretary.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you want to do CRC quick? Are we not doing CRC? What are your thoughts, Dave? And then
We can
stop
do it in
recording
one,
the
I think we
meeting.
can do it in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do temporarily adjourn.
Hey, Kurt.
Morning.
Megan, open the OCCRC board meeting. Would you please do roll call?
Yeah, Jeff Joyner is absent, Dave Rowley,
Present.
Jeff Lord, Craig Gelson is absent, Tom Romeo,
Here.
Tricia Kennedy is absent, Cheryl Robinson. Here. Andrew Marietta is with us virtually. Josh Edmonds.
Here. Chairman's remarks, we will skip. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 24th?
So moved.
Second? Discussion? All in favor? Aye. New and unfinished business for this meeting. There is no new and unfinished business. We have no need for an executive session from my perspective. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. And we are going back to IDA, and I would ask for a motion for an executive session.
Why?
For a personnel discussion. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, you're in executive session.
And do we need legals?
This conference will now be recorded.
We don't. We're back in open session of the County of Otsego Industrial Development Agency. Per executive session discussion, I will need a motion to approve a salary increase per executive discussion. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Motion to adjourn. Second? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Enjoy your vacation, Andrew.
Thank you all.
See you at the next one in person.
See you guys.